Hey, good morning, everybody. John Bergsma here. Another awesome spring week, except for it's snowing outside. This is crazy. Third Monday in April, and we still got snow. The good thing about that is we've got some awesome reports, and the fishing is really getting stretched. So we're going to talk today about two awesome fisheries. The first one, Detroit River. Lots of fish. I mean, incredible amounts of fish are in the Detroit River. Then we're going to slide up and talk with Captain Gene Curvin, who's working the Sable River north of Tawas for some awesome steelhead fishing. And like I said, because of this slow warm up with the cold weather holding on, these fisheries are just going to get extended, which gives you an opportunity to get out with some of these guys. Stay tuned for two great reports, Detroit River and Sable River steelhead. So Captain Brian Bice sent us in an awesome Detroit River report. You know, we've had a bunch of guides sending in reports, and it's just been phenomenal fishing down there. Well, Brian sent his report, and the first sentence basically said, fishing is stupid, and there's no other way to put it. Fishing is stupid. So we're going to talk about the presentation that Brian's been using. I'll throw a few colors at you here. The Pimp Daddy Wyandotte Worm, black ice, red ice, and this is purple ice, also blue ice. Basically anything with a color and then a clear bottom that has sparkles. Those combo colors with the ice on the bottom have been really good, along with Pimp Daddy. Now, how is Brian fishing these? Well, Brian spends most of his time on the American side, which is kind of different, you know, because a lot of guys go back and forth, and I'm sure Brian will run over there too. But of course, a lot of Brian's customers are coming from the West Michigan area to go down to the Detroit River and fish with him. And he's just comfortable on the US side rather than having to buy the Canadian license. So how is Brian catching his fish? Well, like Eric Long from Long Lines Charters, they're fishing a little bit deeper. They're going to be fishing 25 to 30, 32 feet of water. And they're going to be able to fish that depth of water and get away from the boat pressure. That's one of the things. The other thing is Brian has got a two-fisted approach going, where he's got the boat in that depth of water, but close enough to the break where he can still have guys on either the front or the back of the boat cast to the shallower areas where the big fish go up and spawn. This has been a super effective double-fisted approach. So deep water jigging, 1/2 to 1 ounce with Pimp Daddy, or blue ice, or purple ice, or black ice, or Royal D. If you're trying to get colors down, guys, those are the colors. And that can be either in the Wyandotte Worm or the Wyandotte Minnow. Now, always remember, when you're jigging vertical, you're going to want to use a stinger hook for sure. It might be a little different casting, but when you're straight down below the boat jigging, got to have a stinger hook on. Once the water warms up, I'm going to say about a week from now, you're probably going to be able to do away with the tipping it with a minnow. Tipping it with a minnow does work better when the water's super cold. Doesn't really matter. Once it warms up, they get super aggressive. Brian tells me guys with or without the minnow are catching the same amount. It's just because there's so many fish in the system. Now, we talked about that casting presentation. The casting presentation occurs when you get close to a drop off where the front of the boat is fishing, wind coming in, let's say. The front of the boat is pinned into the wind. The two guys in the bow of the boat are going to be vertical jigging with a jig. And then the guys in the back of the boat are going to have lighter jigs, maybe 3 ounce to a 1/2 inch with a paddle tail or a Z-worm. And they're casting way up into the shallows. And I use a Strike King Z2 products, the Elastec minnow, when I do that, or the Wyandotte minnow works well too. And you're just casting that up into the shallows, and you're really aggressively working it back. You're popping your jig back. You're not letting it sit on the bottom hardly at all. You're basically watching very closely till it first touch, and then you're snap jigging it like that, reel a couple reels, snap jig. That's the cadence and the way you're working it. Remember, that's a lot shallower water up there, and you're liable to get snagged if you let it just rest on the bottom. Again, fish that are up there are maniac aggressive. You don't have to worry about it. They're going to be choking that bait, so you're going to get hooks in them. And so get out there. The Detroit River bite literally is going to go on till May. So guys, we're going to be talking about this all the way deep into May because of the cold temperatures. So get out there. There's really no right or wrong spot. Brian tells me the steel mill has been great for getting real big numbers of fish. And then the upper breaks is where he's been catching his bigger fish. You can always get bigger fish mixed in, but top to bottom, the river's chock full of fish. If you're looking for guides, now a lot of guys are really getting booked up. Brian Beist from To Be Caught Charters. He's running the Detroit River for the next couple weeks. Eric Long from Long Lines Charters, also running charters for the next few weeks in the, a month or so until the Lake St. Clair gets going. Relentless Grind Guide Service. My buddy Michael Downey, he's down there. Again, some of these guys are going to get booked up, so you'll have to call them and get on their schedule. There's other guys out on the river as well. I know Scott Matei has been out on the river fishing from Hookset Charters. He may be able to slide you in on a day. Whatever you do, get down there. The fishing's maniacal. You'll have a great time.
AnglerQuest pontoons are better than ever. The big water fishing machines are wider, the tubes are bigger for more stability and safety. There's a new rail system that's stronger and more functional. The bimini is redesigned, and the extended transom makes landing those big fish easier. Plus, the AnglerQuest furniture package offers more style and comfort. The 2022 lineup of AnglerQuest boats is the best yet, and they're the hottest fishing pontoons on the water. For more details, go to the website anglerquestpontoons.com. AnglerQuest, built with purpose.
Hey guys, next report, and this one's an action-packed report coming to you from the Tawas area, north to the Sable River. And we got Captain Gene Curvin from Calypso Sport Fishing Charters telling me that the fishing has been lights out on the lower Sable. Lots of fresh pushes of fish coming in. This weather, again, and we've mentioned it before, this weather has stayed so cold at night that these fish this season is going to get super elongated. I mean, you're going to have good steelhead fishing probably till May 1, which is really late for having great steelhead fishing in the river. So how's Captain Gene doing it? Well, he's taking his customers out, and you can catch them in a variety of different ways. One of Gene's favorite ways to fish is hot shotting mag lips and wee warts in deeper run pools. And what a hot shotting is it's when he sweeps the boat and he's got plugs in the water and the current is giving the plug the dive action and the wiggle. And you just have got the rods pegged in the back corner of the boat. And I'm telling you what, guys, when they hit these things, it's game on. They're peeling line, they're jumping, they're flipping. He's got steelhead. He's even got a few Atlantics trickling in. Looking around, so it's crazy good action right now on the lower Sable for hot shotting. Another great way that Gene likes to take his customers fishing is floating spawn below bobbers. That's a great way to catch them. You can also catch them casting spinners. Arctic Spinner makes a really good spinner. I'm standing here at the Outdoorsman looking around trying to see where I can grab it because I'm right in the right zone here. He's using mag lips, and let me grab one of the better mag lips that he's using right here. They're the 3.0 style, so it's going to be this mag lip right here. It says 3.0 on the top. Now you're going to want to use these in gold and orange. You're going to want to use these in like a fire tiger. You're going to want to use them in coppers, golds. All orange is also good. A good variety of colors. Mag lips typically makes the color that works for different circumstances and water clarities, but the 3.0 seems to be the bait of choice right now, Gene says, in that lower Sable. And then he said there's another unusual bite we're going to quick talk about, and if you're a pier head casting guy, okay, the South Pier, coming out right there out of the mouth of the river there in Oscoda. He says on the South Pier, guys, and this is happening at Tawas too, over off the breakwall, tons of big Lakers and Atlantics. For whatever reason, the Atlantics have been lights out this year. There's going to be a ton of Atlantics from Tawas north to the bridge this year. Guys are seeing more Atlantics than they've ever seen before. I'm getting reports of guys catching even limits of Atlantics. So already early in the year mixed in with their steelhead and coho when they're fishing these breakwalls, whether it's Harrisville or Alpena or Sheboygan. So guys, the Atlantics are abundant in Huron, and you're going to want to take advantage of them because Atlantics are a lot like steelhead in the fact that they're maniacal fish. They run high in the water column. They're not hard to catch. Once you find them, they bite readily and willingly at high speed. 2.7 to 3 is a typical speed to fish them. But the guys right now are casting like Strike King paddle tails, like a 2.75 up to a 3.75 white. Like a Rage Craw, the Rage Menace, that's what it is. And they put it on a 1/2 ounce and they cast it way out and they let it hit the bottom and you pop it once hard and you reel it in and the little paddles on the Rage Menace work. Lakers are inhaling these things right now, along with getting some bonus Atlantics. So don't be afraid to get your white bass baits out early. Get down there to some pier heads. Start doing some long casting. Big Lakers are milling around the pier heads right now all over the Great Lakes, and you should be able to come in contact with them. And when you do, some of these, I mean, I've seen guys holding 15, 20 pounders. So really, really fun action there. So get on over to the greater Tawas area, get Captain Gene a call. If you're looking for an interesting casting trip, my buddy Mikey Parnicki Jr. From Real Obsession is guiding out to Tawas. He does a lot of that casting, that Laker casting, that Atlantic casting. He's primarily a walleye guy for sure. And when that walleye bites, he'll be out there. But he tells me he's mixed bagging it from right now until, probably into May. He's going to be catching walleye, Atlantics, and Lakers all casting in that greater Tawas area. So give Mikey a call. He can get out and show you a great time. But whatever you do, get out. Hey, join us tomorrow because we've got some great reports coming tomorrow.
Domka Outdoors in Monroe is Southeast Michigan's one-stop sporting goods destination, featuring all your fishing needs, including live bait and the area's largest selection of custom-painted bandit crankbaits. Domka Outdoors has a large selection of guns and ammunition, archery equipment, and supplies, as well as an archery service department and indoor archery range. Stop by today or shop our online store.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Tomorrow you're going to want to join us for the Ohio Waters of Lake Erie report. That's going to be Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. We're going to come out with that report. We're going to do a wrap-up for the Rossford Roundup that ran there. Basically, a lot of the guys fished from the mouth of the Maumee at the water intake all the way through to Port Clinton, Ohio. We've got some awesome reports from multiple different sources to give you guys some ideas. As this water is going to warm next weekend, this upcoming weekend is going to be in the 60s. So it's going to be awesome fishing weather. It might have a little breeze to it, but the fish are close. Stay tuned for that report. You can get out and fish these fish even in the wind because they're not miles out. We'll see you tomorrow morning.